This is iOS 17, and this is everything you need to know.
Yes, that was my own voice, and yes, we'll get to that in a second. What's up everyone, this is Justin, and today we're taking a look at Apple's newest software release for the iPhone, iOS 17. Now, this will be supported on any iPhone nearer than the iPhone 10, so that includes the iPhone XS all the way up to the iPhone 14 series. This release of iOS is packed with a lot of small features that are focused on improving quality of life for iPhone users. It's going to be released in the fall, but you can test it now, provided you know what you're getting into in the public beta that came out recently. Let's get started with something I really appreciate, the updates to the phone app. While I really wanted to see a new UI refresh in the phone app, apparently we didn't deserve one this year, so maybe 2024. We do get some tiny UI modifications with fonts and titles, but the major change here is a new feature called contact posters. These are really nice full-screen wallpaper-like images that represent you in a really beautiful way. You can customize contact posters just like you do with the lock screen. You pick an image, choose a font, and you're able to modify the styles and colors of the text in the image to make your poster uniquely yours. And these posters display when you're being called by someone, so you know exactly who you're about to talk to. They're also seamlessly integrated into the actual call screen, where we have a minor UI change with our keypad, microphone, conference call, and other buttons moved to the bottom of the screen. The new contact posters also appear outside of phone calls, like in the person's contact card, which is a nice new cover image for your contacts that elegantly displays whatever they've set for their poster. These posters are also integrated into another new social feature in iOS 17 called NameDrop. On iPhone 11 and newer, with the U1 chip, you can simply touch the tops of your phones together and seamlessly and quickly send contact information to someone new. It has a really nice animation to it, and this makes it so that you don't have to stand around and hand your phones to each other while you enter your phone numbers and send a test, text, or phone call. And this cool gesture and animation also works for regular AirDrop too. So you can send files, photos, and videos just by touching the tops of both phones together. And now, if you happen to be sending a larger file that's taking a while, you can leave AirDrop range and it'll send automatically over iCloud end-to-end encrypted. So that's contact posters, NameDrop, and AirDrop. Another update coming to the phone app, currently only available in the US and Canada, is live voicemail. This feature lets you see what the caller is saying while they leave a voicemail in the event that you don't pick up. It uses on-device processing to transcribe what they're saying and presents it to you in a live readout. So if you realize that this might be something you want to take, you can pick up the call in the moment. If it turns out to be a scam, you also have an option to block the number right away. I do believe that this feature is separate from your carrier voicemail because there's a live voicemail specific message that's read out by Siri. So once you do receive a voicemail, it's placed in line with your recent calls. Now you get visual voicemail, which costs money in Canada, for free. And the transcription is also available here, so you can read it later. So those are the updates coming to the phone app. And while I think we could really use a UI redesign to the app itself, these are still some really nice small changes and updates that make calls and contacts on the iPhone that much better. Another social part of the iPhone is messages, and this year we get some more small updates to help improve the messages experience. Now, to reply to a message, you can just swipe on it just like in other social media apps. There's also a new button that lets you scroll instantly to the top if you've missed a lot of messages. And just like the live voicemail transcription, audio messages are now also transcribed in line. So you can read what someone said if you're not able to listen in the moment. Apple also updated a feature that, well, nobody I know uses regularly, and that's stickers. You can now make your own custom stickers from your photos, and they can be animated as well. Messages automatically removes the background from the photo to isolate the subject, and there's also these really cool new effects that you can apply to a sticker to make it look realistic, with stuff like light refractions, 3D textures, and more. These updates definitely make stickers more fun to use, and who knows, maybe more people will start to use them now that we've got these new features. There's one last big update that's new in messages in iOS 17, which is check-in. When you send a check-in to a friend or a family member, they can see your location, where you're going, and at what time you should arrive. If you're not making enough progress in time, check-in will send a notification both to you and your friend, and also, depending on what you set, send important information like the route you took, your battery and cell service information, and where your Apple Watch was removed. With this information, the recipient of your check-in will be able to decide whether they should call you or 911. I think this is a really helpful feature for close friends or family, and is a great way to have some peace of mind to know if someone's getting to where they need to go safely. Next, there's a new really helpful feature in iOS 17 called Standby, which essentially turns your iPhone into almost a smart home display with big glanceable widgets and basic information. To enable it, your iPhone needs to be charging and on its side. I think this is a really nice feature that makes your iPhone even more helpful if it's not in your hand. And when you're in standby mode, you can set timers, play music, see the weather, take calls, control smart home devices, and so much more from this view, all at a distance. Standby makes everything fill the screen, so you can just glance at your phone to see what's on it. This feature acts as a really great nightstand as well, so you can see the time, if your alarm is set, and any other information. And at night, when your phone detects that the room is dark, Standby automatically fades colors to red, which is easier on the eyes when you're looking at the phone in the dark. Another nice update coming with iOS 17 is some new features for AirPods Pro 2nd generation, as well as a few older models. First, for the 2nd gen AirPods Pro, is a new noise control mode called Adaptive Audio. Adaptive Audio is like a combination between noise cancellation and transparency mode, and after testing it for a while, I'll say that it's not bad. I feel like for the people who have their AirPods in their ears most of the time, this feature will be really great for them. There's still a lot of pass-through in Adaptive Audio, so you can hear stuff like cars passing by, people speaking, birds chirping, your footsteps, all that kind of stuff. It might have that sound reduced a bit compared to transparency mode, but I can't hear much of a difference. What makes this different from transparency is that it will automatically turn up and down noise cancellation dynamically as you encounter loud or distracting noises. So for example, if you're in a plane and there's that constant engine droning, it'll cancel that out. Or if you're in the city where there's a lot of constant traffic and construction noise, that will be reduced too. I've noticed that it even qualifies running water as distracting, so even when I'm washing my hands, I can hear it turning up the noise cancellation to mute out that noise so I can better hear whatever I'm listening to. Outside of adaptive audio, there's also a new feature for AirPods Pro 2 called Conversation Awareness, which will detect when you're speaking to someone and automatically lower the volume and turn on transparency mode. This is a really convenient feature, and I find it to be super helpful when you don't want to touch the stem of the AirPods or fumble around trying to turn on transparency mode and pause the music from the phone. Once you're done talking, it waits and gives you a bit of time to see if you're going to talk to anyone else, and after that, it automatically switches away from transparency mode and turns up the volume again. So those are the updates specific to AirPods Pro 2nd generation. There are a few other nice quality of life features that are coming to other AirPods models too. For example, on all AirPods Pro models, AirPods 3rd gen, and AirPods Max, you can simply press on the stem or the digital crown to mute and unmute yourself during a call. And switching between devices has been made even faster so you don't miss a beat. iOS 17 also brings a few great new accessibility features for the iPhone. The one you probably want to know about is called Personal Voice. Personal Voice was designed for people who experience speech loss and essentially synthesizes a text-to-speech version of your voice based on sample recordings. To set it up, the phone asks you to read out 150 totally random phrases, and it uses those to reconstruct your voice. This all happens on device, so everything stays private and isn't sent to a server. But that privacy means that it takes some time for the phone to stitch up the personal voice. It'll only compute the voice when it's plugged in and locked, and when it's doing that, the phone does get pretty warm. It also takes a while, so it recommends that you leave it plugged in overnight. But once it's done, you have this kinda accurate voice. I mean, you can definitely tell it's not a real human speaking, but it's still not bad, and it's probably better than just using the generic Siri text-to-speech voice. For people who can still speak, this is just a fun gimmick. But for those who are actually at risk of losing their voice, this feature might be pretty great for them. There are a ton of other small things in iOS 17 that help to make it a really polished release. So for one, widgets are actually more useful than just for looking at now. They're interactive too. So on the home screen, you can tap on widgets to clear a reminder or play some music. I would have liked for it to be possible to scroll on them as well, like if you're browsing weather or scrolling through your calendar events, but oh well, maybe iOS 18 or something. The keyboard also gets updated with what they call a new transformer language model, so autocorrect is much better, dictation is improved, and inline predictions are here now, which can predict and suggest the rest of your sentence before you finish typing. Siri can now be triggered by just saying Siri instead of Hey Siri, and now you can actually have a conversation with it without using the wake word every time you want to say something. So you can say, Siri, what's the weather like right now? And speak again by saying, what about tomorrow? And it'll respond just like that. There's also a focus on mindfulness this year, and in the Health app, you can log your state of mind with momentary emotions and how you felt during the day. And later this year, Apple's going to bring a stock journaling app to iPhone to help complement the mindfulness stuff. So that's pretty much it for iOS 17. Definitely a smaller update, but it's filled with all sorts of fun, useful, and just plain cool quality of life updates for iPhone users. I'm really excited for this to come out publicly this fall, especially so we can start using those name drop and contact posters features. But that's it for me. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.
Don't give it to me easy, I like a little challenge. When it feels better when you take a little damage. Slow learning, fast earning, stay burning, wheels turning. It's a ongoing thing. Don't give it to me easy, I like a little challenge.